Hey guys, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome to today's video. So glad you could join me. Please make sure you've subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. If you're listening to the podcast version, please subscribe. And wherever you're seeing it, wherever you're hearing it, grab a free copy of my book, Bridging the Gap. It's here somewhere. There'll be a link. Get yourself a free copy. I'm going to give it to you. Free, totally free. I'm not going to, no tricks. I'm not going to turn up at your house. I'm not going to do anything weird. I'm just going to give it to you. That's it. All right, so grab that link. Today, we're going to do a quote from one of my favourite historical figures. This guy was amazing. Not only was he a Roman emperor, but he also starred in a Hollywood film with Russell Crowe. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. I mean, this guy's got chops, you know. First century Roman emperor, Hollywood guy, amazing. Father of one of the progenitors of Stoic philosophy. It's a life well lived. They didn't even have electricity or internal plumbing. And this guy's just rocking the developed world. Anyway, it's a big build-up, so let's get into today's quote. Adapt yourself to the life you have been given and truly love the people with whom destiny has surrounded you. Okay, this mirrors one of the episodes we did earlier this week. It was a quote from Soren Kierkegaard around... No, it's from Carl Jung. It was this quote around the idea of living the life that you've been given, the unique life that's been given to you. So today, Marcus Aurelius is telling us to adapt ourselves to the lives that we actually have. There's a bit of a paradox here, because in personal development, we're all about change and creating change. But today it's a quote about adapting yourself to what is. I think we resolve this paradox by realizing that once we adapt ourselves to our reality, that's like a launch pad. If we keep resisting our lives, if we keep resisting the fact that where we're placed... You know, I was reading a great book this week by a French priest of the 17th century called, I think it was Pierre de Caussade, called Abandonment to Divine Providence. I was reading that book and he's kind of like going, whatever's happening for you right now is the will of God. Or he would, you know, you could, whatever your faith journey is, you could say the will of the universe, if that helps, right? I get it. So often we think that we want to resist our lives. We want to be somewhere else. We want to be doing something else. And here's the paradox again, because of course, to have goals, we have to have an idea of a different future state. But so much of our growth and the beauty of our lives can come from being present to the life that we actually have. Doesn't mean we'll stay there forever. Doesn't mean that it'll never change. But there's a certain peace that can come from accepting where you exactly are. COVID kind of taught me that because, you know, I was in the US all the time. I was traveling all the time and speaking. It was amazing. It was a beautifully privileged life. It just ended in a heartbeat. And there was, honestly, I'd have to say, in my credit, in my defense, I didn't spend a lot of time, you know, upset and miserable about it. I had to accept that this was the life that this was beyond my control, and I had to accept the life that I had been given at this particular time. So that allowed me to go through a long process of reevaluating what was important, what did I want to do, what ways could I reasonably do it. But I had to accept my life first. So this comes back to Marcus Aurelius' quote, right? Adapt yourself to the life that you've been given. And basically he says, the next part he says is so you can love the people that, you know, destiny has placed around you. So I got 3 young kids. I got my wife Karen, and I think the purpose of much of the whole personal development motivation space is not to be the richest person in the graveyard. It's really not. You know, I was on the motorbike today and I drove past a guy that I know who was driving a Porsche, and there's only, I think, 50 of them in the world. It could be less, it could only be 25. It was a very unique model they brought out. I think he bought it a few years ago for about $500,000. Like some car nuts will email me now going, oh, it was this model, or you got your pricing wrong. But I know that this guy has, you know, has a pretty lonely life. I really know, you know. Now, I'm not his judge and I don't know the fullness of his life, but I know that if I had to choose between, you know, Karen's love for me, my kids, and enormous wealth, it wouldn't be a decision, right? It'd just be, I'm blessed to love the people that are around me. So, step 1, accept your life as it is right now in all its complexity and difficulty and hardship, because it's the place where you're being called and encouraged to grow so you can love the people around you. Because I think on your deathbed, I think at the end of your life, that's what's going to really matter. Like if you die alone in a $500 million mansion with a series of wreckage relationships behind you, you don't win. That's not a win, right? A win is to accept your life as the place where you're being challenged to grow, to contribute as much as you can to developing yourself so that you can contribute to the people closest to you. And that's great wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, isn't it? It's like he's reminding us that what really matters in life is to practice acceptance while simultaneously holding a vision of change and what's possible for us, and then learning to really care for the people around us. You do that, you win. You win. That's it. You win. You win. You really do. I think you do. If you grow and become who you're meant to be and care for the people around you, and a whole bunch of other good stuff may happen around that, then you win. You win. All right, God bless you. Please make sure you're subscribed. Grab yourself a free copy of my book, Bridging the Gap, and I will have another video for you, or podcast, if you're listening on the podcast, tomorrow.